Oh, wrong button. Hey guys, how are you doing? Hopefully everything's going super well with you. So, today, day number 2 of our little and special Halloween week. So, we're gonna continue with the Quicksculpts. What do you think about the mummy? Turned out pretty nice, right? If I had more time, I would have definitely polished the bandages, which I think were a little bit not so good. Or they were not looking at great, but 30 minutes, it's a little bit of it's very short, it's a very short amount of time to do some very complex stuff. So, today we're gonna continue with the next one. So some of you guys have asked me if there's a way in which we can share the screenshots in case you guys are doing the exercises as well. And yes, so make sure to check the description on this video because there's I just enabled a Google Drive folder in the same way that we did the portfolio reviews. So make sure that if you're participating and you want to share, we're gonna have a little bit of a review process at the end of tomorrow's video. So tomorrow, Wednesday, we're gonna take a look at whatever you guys have done on Monday and Tuesday. So if you want to share your progress, if you want to give it a go, try 30 minutes of Quicksculpt. We're gonna have a little bit of a showcase. It's not gonna be a lot of feedback or anything. It's just gonna be a quick showcase to see what everyone else is doing if you want to participate. Remember also that on Friday we will on Friday's video on the comments we will vote on which character we want to take further during the weekend. So very well, let's go into Photoshop real quick, and this is our current standing. We just eliminated the mummy yesterday, we got a 6, and that's the mummy out. So right now the recording time is at 1 minute 37 seconds, so it's about 2 minutes when we're gonna get our result, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. You already know the drill, so I'm just gonna right here roll the 8, and drum rolls, we get 7. Okay, 7, what's that? Frankenstein. Okay, classic Frankenstein. I actually did the Frankenstein a long time ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, so that one's gonna be a fun one. So let's jump straight into ZBrush and let's start sculpting our 30 minutes. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? There it is. Our 30 minutes start counting right now. So in a very similar way in how we started yesterday, I'm just gonna start with a very quick base mesh right here. Now the only difference is yesterday I started with the head, if you remember. Today I'm gonna show you, you can also start with the chest like this. Dynamesh, very well, just get a general volume here. Trim dynamic to get the general shapes. Now Frankenstein's head is a little bit different than a typical like male character face because he is a little bit, it's a little bit wider on the top, right? Because he was made out of corpses, I believe. I haven't read the book. I should read the book. I know it's a classic, but I've never read it. Everyone knows Frankenstein, but I'm pretty sure no one has, well, not no one, but very few people have read the book. Now, we already know, or hopefully you guys already know, that Frankenstein is not the name of the monster. That's the name of the doctor that creates Frankenstein. Frankenstein is, I don't even know if he has a name or something. Now, for this one, I'm gonna go tank. Let's go like super heavy. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna mask out the torso, and I'm gonna start inflating where the main volumes would be. So I want him to be like a really big tank. So some of you guys might be League of Legends players, you know, like Sion, kind of like that. So I want to go like really wide, really big character right here. So on this one, we're gonna be focusing a little bit more on anatomy. So on the face anatomy, I think I wanna give it a go on that, or I wanna focus on that sort of thing. So I'm definitely need to increase the resolution here for my Dynamesh. And the face, there's a lot of ways to start, of course, but I'm gonna start with like the basic like skull shape. So this is where we would have like the nose, the zygomatic bone right here. Then over here is like the frontal bone. So it's a little bit more volume here on the skull. There we go. I usually don't recommend going super high on resolution when we're first starting because it becomes a little bit difficult to control. This is where the jaw would be. This is where the mouth would be. So I'm doing this sort of like écorché technique. Not really an écorché because we're not going through the bones and everything, but just like getting the general shapes here. Now Frankenstein has a really deep like eyebrow, so I'm really gonna push this guys right here. Let's start pushing the eyes like really in, so there's gonna be like super deep cavities right there. And yeah, so the nose, I'm also gonna do like a really big nose, and I want to do this sort of like a broken nose on the top like this. So as you can see, very basic shapes, just a general like position of where things should be. Now on the neck we have a very cool muscle called the Sternocleidomastoids. I'm pretty sure that's the name in English. In Spanish it's Sternocleidomastoideo. It's one of the longest names for muscles, and it goes from behind the jawline. The apophysis mastoide is called, I think. And then we go all the way to the front to where the clavicles and the sternum is. So that's why it's called Sternocleidomastoids, because it goes from those three sides. I'm definitely not going to be doing the, what's the word? The anatomy, like arms. Yesterday, trying to do arms at the same time was a little bit too much, I think. So we're going to keep it to like a quick bust right here. Now I'm going to use one cool tool here, which is called the clip curve. And the clip curve will actually create this very sharp lines on every single part of our character, so that way we can focus only on whatever is inside. So if you think about those like old marble busts from the Roman and Greek empires, that's kind of like what we're doing here. Now I do want to stylize him a little bit more, so I'm gonna exaggerate the jawline like really big, so something like that. We're of course gonna have, I think the neck's a little bit too low. So I'm gonna go into my mask lasso here, mask the head, bring the pivot point right about there, and then just push it up. Push the head forward. Remember that the neck goes to the back. Like you're not gonna have a straight neck. It usually has a little bit of an angle going back. Now on the back side we have the trapezius muscle, which is a very big muscle, and since I want him to be like really tanky, really big, I'm really gonna increase it right there. I think I want to give this guy an underbite. Underbite is when your mouth goes like this. So your lower lip goes on top of your upper lip. So I'm gonna just draw like an underbite right there. Right beneath the lower lip, there's usually like a little bit of a cavity. And then we have the chin. There's a couple of muscles here and there that we need to add, of course. The nasolabial fold, which is another important one right here. And the ears. I hate doing ears. That's probably one of my like least favorite parts of a character. I don't know. I find them, they're not difficult. They're just like boring, you know. Like it's an ear. It's not super interesting. I mean, there's some very interesting ears, like a goblin's ear, like an elf ear, but like just a traditional human ear, very boring. Quick tip here: what I can do to give the ear a little bit more depth. I'm gonna grab the ear. I'm gonna invert it, move the pivot point to this position right here, and just push it out. People usually tend to place the ears like really far in, and ears are usually like sticking quite out from the head. Ears are usually gonna be going from the top of the eyes to the bottom of the nose. So this like distance right here is usually what your ear is gonna be measuring. Of course, your mileage may vary. But there we go. That looks good. That looks good. So not bad for a base mesh, right? How are we doing on time? Okay, 5 minutes, so not bad. We're only 5 minutes in and we already have something very cool. Now I definitely, again, I wanna exaggerate certain features because I think this looks way too like realistic. So I'm gonna make the head smaller. When you have a character with a small head, that usually indicates low intelligence, and that's not something that I invented. That's just the way like the sign works. So so yeah, that means like a small brain, right? And we relate that sort of small brain with low intelligence. Now Frankenstein though has this very like characteristic like square face. So I'm definitely gonna break that rule a little bit here. I'm gonna give him an interesting head over here. Now I know that eventually he's gonna have like the seam line that goes around, right, where the doctor would place the brain on top of the character. And I know traditionally he has this very like like what's the name? I always forget the name, but there's sort of like hair going forward. I think we can add it, just an indication for now. This sort of like very weird looking, like a bowl cut, right? It's kind of like a bowl cut. So there we go. I think I do want to give it not super cartoonish, but just like a strong, like a really strong jawline right here. There we go. Let's place the eyes. The eyes are definitely gonna help with everything here. So I'm gonna append, grab his sphere, and make the small. I strongly advise whenever you're doing realistic characters, go with small eyes. When we keep eyes really big, they kind of look like DreamWorks or Pixar. of course not super small, but just small, so that they look really deep and a little bit more realistic. So C plugin, we're gonna say subtool master, and we're gonna mirror this to the other side. There we go. And now when we start adding like the eyelids and stuff, this guy's gonna start getting a lot more interesting. So I'm gonna do some small eyes as well. I think I want to make him a little bit angry. So kind of like that. There we go. Let's modify some of the proportions there. That looks good. I think the eyes are a little bit too small, so I'm gonna go to the eyes. Make sure symmetry is turned on so that we can make them just slightly bigger. Position them properly there. And remember when we talked about yesterday about the mouth, how the mouth has this like U shape. So you see a character from the top, you should be seeing this sort of like a U shape, which is what we have right there. You should also have that on the eyes. So I'm gonna grab my move brush and I'm gonna push the inner side of the eye a little bit closer to the inside there, and also the outer side, like this outer side. I'm gonna push it back, so it's gonna give me more depth. My eye is gonna have a lot of depth, and it's gonna make him look very cool. So over here, that's a nice like frontal bone. I think I'm not super fond about this like haircut that we did him. I think he looked a little bit cooler without the haircut. So I do want to keep like the scalp, like this sort of like thing where the doctor just like open and place his brain. I probably do want to add a little bit like a heavier head. There we go. So a little bit higher, right, like that. So I'm gonna patch this up just very quickly here, because again I don't wanna focus on the stitching just yet. We're gonna use a quick trick later on once we get to that position. Now, one super important thing about Frankenstein is the nails, right? Like the little bolts that he has on the neck. I think those are like super iconical of him, right? So I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go here onto a cylinder 3D. I'm gonna convert this into polymesh 3D. I'm gonna smooth this out, and I want to use light booleans. So I'm gonna append a cube here, a cube 3D. Select the cube. I'm gonna scale it down, and I'm gonna just do this, get it in there, and use light booleans to subtract that shape from there. There we go. And then I'm gonna alt click and duplicate, and then just like rotate this around 90 degrees and position this on the center like this. See how we get this very nice shape super fast, right? Like no need to go and mask out and polygroups and stuff, or we could have gone with what was it, with like C modeler and stuff. There's always a million ways in which you can create stuff here inside of ZBrush. So for this particular piece, I think this is gonna work just fine. So I'm just gonna go boolean, make boolean mesh. It's gonna create a new mesh over here. Let's just wait for the operation to finish. There we go. So we're just gonna go to Frank again, and we're gonna say append, and we're gonna append this U mesh. And now it's just a matter of rotating this 90 degrees, making it smaller, like really small, like this. I'll probably make it a little bit longer though, like this. I don't want to make this part long though, so we're just gonna mask this back part, invert, and just like push it in. There we go. That's a little bit closer to what I want. Whoop. Let's move this right about there. Yeah, right. He has that thing. Yeah, it's on the lower side of the jaws. Perfect. C plugin, and we mirror to the other side as well, of course. So we got both sides ready. Now let's go to the face. I think we can start jumping onto like more interesting details here. So before that though, I am gonna sculpt just a little bit of the ear. So let's get like a bigger ear here. Create like the channel. Just a little bit of the tragus and anti-tragus, which are the names of the little things that we have there. And I only want like an indication, because we're gonna be doing C remesher. Now usually I would C remesh and then reproject and do all that crazy stuff, but I don't have a lot of detail right now, and I don't think I need a lot of detail right now. So I'm gonna go geometry, and I'm just gonna see remesher. Like just gonna go. There's gonna be a lot of lost detail, but we can recover that one pretty fast. And now we can start like really going for this like super gnarly effect. So I'm thinking about there was this monster, and I'm gonna take inspiration from him. World of Warcraft. I think his name was Stitches. Was it? Hey, where's the music? We lost the music. Oh, Okay, so we lost internet. Don't worry, guys. Like this is recording, so you didn't see anything. But we lost our music because apparently there's no internet, which is weird. So that's fine. I'll just keep on working on this guy. So I'm gonna Control D a couple times, and now with this new topology, now we can start working. So I'm gonna go here to the alpha, and I'm just gonna start like really going here with the details. So as you can see, let's start with the eyes, just detailing the upper and lower eyelid. Over here, like here on the brow. Let's go to the nose. There we go. This is the nasolabial fold. It goes from the corner of the nose all the way down. How are we doing on time, by the way? Okay, we're good. We have about 15 minutes left. Now let's focus on the mouth, because I do think that's going to be a very interesting part here for our character. So we do have this. I think it's called the fulcrum or something. They call it the Cupid's bow as well, because there's like this layering where Cupid would like touch that little part of your lip, and that's why you get that sort of like effect. So I'm just gonna position it right there, and this lower lip should go, or that the upper lip on the corner should go on top of the lower lid. So I'm gonna create this sort of like a volume right here. It's actually a little annoying that I don't have any more music right now. That's weird. My internet usually does not do that, but hey. You know, internet providers, right? How's the internet on your guys' place? Like, I know here in Mexico, we don't have the best internet. But I know there's some places where it's even like really, really bad and really slow. So how is your internet, guys? Do you have a good bandwidth? Where we have issues is usually with games. We get like about 130, 150, sometimes 200 ping or like delay. So that's really annoying, because you get killed before you can see whatever is happening, and yeah. So yeah, now take a look at this. By just adding this very nice like general ideations or general places for our thing, we can create some very, very nice effects. I do think I'm gonna go one level down right now, because I do think we're getting a little bit heavy with things that we don't need just yet. Now I do want to create this sort of like monster, so I'm gonna create this sort of like droopy eyes. Because I want him to look like a corpse, right? Like a lot of meat and muscles that were just like put together and created. So there's gonna be a little bit of variation along the whole thing. Let's add more mass over here, like the muscles. There we go. Let's add like a lot of kind of like an old man, right? There we go. The music is back. That means that the internet is back. So there was this guy. I used to play World of Warcraft when I was younger, and the best expansion that I played was Wrath of the Lich King. And in Wrath of the Lich King, there was this raid. Raids are this like sort of like dungeons. You guys know, right? Like you guys have played. And in this raid, there was this guy, which was like an abomination that had a lot of like pieces and stitches like placed together. So that's kind of like the inspiration I'm taking, and here's where I'm gonna start adding like the details. So I'm gonna go up here and let's add like the cut. Remember, when we're adding this sort of cuts, you don't want to be like super symmetrical. So I'm actually gonna break symmetry here to create something like goes like in a bad like direction, and then I kind of want to add some patches like around other parts of the body. So maybe like this part of the eye was also like patched together, right? So we're gonna have this sort of like a very big line going around the ear. So maybe all of this section he got from one particular body. Let's on the back here, since we're not gonna be really seeing the back, we can do something like this, and then maybe like let's break this like this other part of the face, and going like across the mouth a little bit. What's another section here on the neck? I definitely want to have like another like section line. See that? So just having this sort of concept. I do want to make him a little bit angrier, so let's bring it a little bit here with symmetry, and let's create this interesting effect. So something like that. Maybe here, even since this piece is like cut, we can have like a big gash and stuff like. like the mouth didn't properly simulated or got stitched together there, and we get this sort of like very, very nasty effect. Cool. So I think this is looking good. Let's turn on Symmetry right now and fix a little bit of the really annoying and boring ears, but I think it's gonna be important, especially like on the front view here. You can see that the ears look a little bit whack, so we'll definitely need to correct them a little bit, just a little bit of, just making them thinner. Like I don't want them to look super cartoonish or anything, so I'm gonna make them thinner. Some people have the lower part of their ear connected, and some people don't. I don't think I have it. I think it's unconnected. I'm not sure what that is. It definitely has to do with genetics and race, I think. But yeah, that's just something that happens. Now I do think this is looking good. I think we're in a good position. I think now we can start going a little bit crazier. So how are we doing on time? Okay, 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes. So one thing that I definitely want to add is the what's the word? The cloths, right? Like Frankenstein. One of the things about Frankenstein is that he's always wearing this sort of like suit, right? And for this one, I am gonna extract it. I think I'm gonna extract it. I think that's gonna be the easiest one. So I am just gonna. Let's extract first like the top of the suit, something like this, and let's get rid of the mask class. So let's get rid of the bore there, because I just want like the top parts like this. There we go. And let's get rid of the bottom part. Oop. As clean as possible. There we go. So I just want this sort of thing, because it's the only thing that we're actually going to be seeing. And of course this part right here. Oh, I've been having some issues with my Wacom. I'm probably gonna be replacing it soon. So there we go. So I'm gonna go subtool, extract, and we're just gonna extract. There we go. Actually, that doesn't look bad. Maybe we don't go with the suit and we go with this like jaggedy like shirt and stuff. Might be something interesting. So what I'm gonna do here then is I'm actually gonna bring the thickness all the way down to 0. So thickness 0. I'm gonna hit extract and I'm gonna hit accept, and we're gonna get this. And let's do the same trick that we did with the mummy yesterday. So I'm gonna go geometry, series measure to series mesh that thing, so that's a little bit softer, because right now 33,000 points, it's a little bit way too much. So let's do half of that again. There we go. Now let's go to dynamics, and I'm just gonna say contract on the z-axis again. Bring the gravity strength a little bit low to like 3 or 4. Dynamics, and let's calculate our collision volume, of course. Collision, let's remove the inflate. I don't want to inflate. And dynamics, actually we should there we go. And run simulation. There we go. Now you can see that the floor right there is actually colliding with our character, and it's creating this sort of like weird thing. I think it's fine. I think we're gonna be fine there. So I'm gonna remove symmetry. I'm gonna be BM, and I'm gonna say BC, which are the cloth brushes. I'm gonna use this cloth notch, and I'm just gonna start like moving this cloth here. And I actually wanna like kind of like push the cloth outside of the character. Very careful there. I'll probably have to do that after we finish the simulation. There we go. Yeah, that looks cool. Now for the floor, I believe we can go here to document, not document, draw here, draw. And where is it? Is this grid elevation? Yeah, so I'm gonna push the floor down, and now if we run the simulation, you're gonna see that the shirt falls a little bit nicer. So we're gonna get this sort of like asymmetrical effect down here. There we go. Now remember, since we're using this cloth thing, that we can go into our dynamic subdivision, turn on dynamic subdivision, and add a little bit of thickness. And this is not going to be affecting the actual like simulation. It's just going to be the thickness here, so we can create this very, very nice effect. I'm just going to hit apply. I think I like where this is or how this is looking. And then this is a little bit of a cheating, but I'm just going to like scratch this and just like push the geometry in. This would not be the way in which you would do like clothing for like a game character or anything. But since we're running very low on time, by just like pushing this, we can create this sort of like a cuts, right? So it's gonna look good on the concept, but might not look good or might not work for bakes and stuff. However, again, it's just a quick way to create this sort of like effects, right? Like this, like a damaged cloth effect. So now let's go back here to Frank. And how are we doing on time? Oh, 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna do Control D. I'm just gonna push the subdivision higher up, and let's do a quick like texture pass. So I'm gonna go into my. Let's get rid of this and close this out. There we go. Let's go to the lightbox and let's go to our alphas. And I have my Leathery Skin, which is gonna be great. Let's start with Leathery Skin, this one, and let's just do drag rect. And I am gonna go right here. Oh, of course, C sub. To create like a little bit there. It has too much intensity, so let's lower it down. I'm gonna start adding like scratches and elements over there. Let's go with like this Leathery Skin again, and I'm gonna change this to color spray, the same technique that we did yesterday, and just, as you can see, add noise to the whole skin so that we get something and it's not like just super smooth. So this, as you can see, this detail, its only purpose is to break up the surface, right? Like we don't want the surface to remain like exactly the same everywhere. So this detail, as you can see, it's breaking the surface in a very, very nice way. Now I'm gonna there's one that I think we can use for the lips, this one right here. So I'm gonna change this to drag rect. There we go. Let's do a little bit more intensity, and I am gonna a little bit more. I'm gonna mask out actually like the lips, invert the mask, and that way we can start adding like this sort of like broken effect on the whole thing. There we go. That's giving it some nice texture, I think. Yeah, that looks good. Now I'm definitely gonna remove Symmetry. And let's add some extra points right here. I am gonna change this to pores. So let's go lightbox, and we're gonna grab this bumpy skin, and let's use again color spray. And pores are gonna be really important for this area right here. Usually like the nose and stuff. That's where we see that sort of thing. Gonna go clay buildup and just gonna give some extra definition to some of the wrinkles that I wanna define. And we have 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes, so we can take it a little bit easy here. Let's do a couple of like scars and like moles and stuff, just to again give some definition to the skin. I'm actually gonna give some like interesting wrinkles down here. Too much. I'm gonna go down a couple of subdivision levels so that we can add this sort of like skin fold effect down here. And then let's turn X on to do a little bit of like the clavicle and the muscles that we've talked about. Nope. We're in C sub. Let's go C add. There we go. We go up just to get some like visual interest down here. Like that on the pectoral muscle, just to kind of mark it out. And now I'm gonna go into my lightbox, and I'm gonna go into my brushes, and there's a stitch brush that we're gonna be using. This is a very common brush. It's not the best brush, there's better ones, but I think this is gonna look nice for us. We definitely turn off Symmetry, and we're gonna go like right here, right? Like go across the damage that we've already sculpted to give it this sort of like stitching effect. There we go. All the way across. Of course, if we had more time, I might actually like model the things and stuff to create something a little bit more interesting. Let's just go all the way down here. There we go. Let's go right here, and we have 3 minutes. No, like yeah, like 4 minutes, because it's 28 minutes. We started at the 2-minute mark, so we have like 4 minutes. So we're gonna go here and down here. There we go. What else can we do? Let's do dimming and standard, and let's start our clay buildup. Let's start just like polishing some of the things here again. Since we have a little bit of time, we can actually go here on the eyelids and add this sort of like texture. Like really create this sort of like a wrinkle effect. Which is not bad, right? Like, even if we 3D printed this guy, we could create like a nice little statue. Maybe we can do that. Would you guys like to see that? If you guys want to see maybe the final one that we do, I can 3D print it and I'll show you guys how it looks, how a sculpture like this one looks. I can even go over like the the things how to like properly prepare a 3D print so that you have the most success. Let's go to the cloth, and I'm just gonna use the Damien standard, the standard brush, and I'm just gonna use the leather effect. So this leathery skin, just to again give some texture to the whole cloth. There we go. Like the bolts here, we can even go here and damage them a little bit so they're not like perfectly straight. That could give it a little bit more of a, again, a visual interest effect. And we have 2 more minutes, so I'm gonna use this 2 more minutes to do a quick like paint. So I'm just gonna grab like this, like dark green color. Ooh, I like that one. Let's do that one. So I'm gonna say color, fill object. Let's go to the shirt. It's gonna be, let's go for like a dark brown color, fill object, and then let's go to this guy's right here. It's definitely gonna be like white. So color, fill object, and then let's go to the eyes. I'm gonna do like a, I'm not sure, like a red maybe. Yeah, I think a red looks nice. Ooh, that one looks nice. Color, fill object. Now I'm gonna go back here to Frank, and I'm gonna grab a like a yellowish color. 1 more minute. Let's grab color spray and this alpha 3, and no C-sub RGB, very low intensity, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of like highlights on certain areas, like here on the eyes, a little bit on the cheeks. Let's grab like a dark red color. Quick. Let's just paint the lips a little bit. Not super fan of that one. I think we're gonna run out of time. 20 more seconds. Let's see. Let's do like a dark green then. A little bit more intensity. What do you think now, right? Doesn't look good. So let's just grab the green color. Let's say color, fill object, and we are gonna call this a day. So there we go, guys. So this was again 30 minutes of speed sculpting. Not bad, right? Like we gave Frankenstein our own sort of look. He's like this old man. It's not like your typical Frankenstein. Now I know the time is over, so this will be the end of the sculpture. But for all of you that stayed until the very end, I'm gonna show you something very quick, just to give a nicer render, similar to what you saw yesterday with the mummy. So I'm gonna position this one right here, which is roughly where the thumbnail for the video is gonna be. And then if you go into render and you go into BPR shadow, you can increase the angle of the shadow, and by increasing the angle, the shadow is not gonna be as harsh, it's gonna be a little bit softer. And you can also download like the global strength, so that it's not as dark, it's gonna be a little bit like a gray color. And you're gonna get this, which as you can see, looks a lot nicer. Now, of course, in Photoshop, I give it a little bit of contrast here and there to make it like, to make it a little bit more punchy. But yeah, here we go, guys. 30 minutes, second day, done. We're ready with this challenge. Hopefully you guys like the video. Let us know in the comments. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. By the way, our Majora's Mask video is almost at the 500 views, which if you guys remember, once it hits that number, I'm monitoring every day. I'll share with you the Majora's Mask file so that you can follow along. And when we get to 17,000 subscribers, which we are also very close to, we will do an animation with that Majora's Mask. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to spread the word. Let people know that we're having a lot of fun in this Halloween week. And yeah, let's see what tomorrow brings. Let's just go back into Photoshop real quick. Let's grab our cross here. Whoop. And that means that Frank is now gone. 2 monsters gone. I feel like Van Helsing eliminating the monsters by sculpting them. And yeah, so that's it, guys. I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye-bye.